It's the calm before the storm right here. Wait, how was I gonna start this off? I forgot. Oh yeah. That's an awfully hot coffee pot.
As election season comes to a close and the ballots have been counted and recounted, I can't help but reminisce on the last 4 years of this Trump administration. Okay, look, no matter your political party, there's no way you can say that the last 4 years hasn't been fucking exhausting. So, none other than Eminem to explain the frustration that has been intertwined with this administration. In 2017, during the BET Hip Hop Awards, Eminem would deliver an a cappella freestyle that also doubled as a scathing review of the Trump administration so far. The verse went on to be watched millions of times on YouTube, reacted to on Twitter by many other musicians and celebrities, and also major news networks dedicated segments to discuss the lyrical thrashing. I rewatched the verse recently and was struck by how each bar slamming Trump is still extremely relevant today as it was at the beginning of Trump's presidency. In no way is it Eminem's most complex verse, and it is a bit dumbed down compared to his usual multi-syllable double entendre rhymes. But the verse is concise, objective, and accessible even for all the non-stands that caught attention. So let's pick out some bars that show this verse is the perfect retrospective on how exhausting Trump's presidency has been.
Intensity's heightened, tensions are rising. Trump, when it comes to giving a shit, you're stingy as I am. Except when it comes to having the balls to go against me, you hide them. Cause you don't got the nuts like an empty asylum.
It may be hard to say this after living through 2020, but 2017 actually was a tough year too. It was really tense. We had hurricanes, we had a long line of mass shootings, and it was also an election year. In 2017, Democrats had a blue wave where they won a bunch of seats in Charlotte, North Carolina, Virginia, New Jersey. That's when Republicans were still mostly trying to follow Trump's lead, but a lot of people said Trumpism doesn't work without Trump.
Racism's the only thing he's fantastic for. Cause that's how he gets his rocks off and he's orange.
This line is infamous because it's just so fucking dumb. I mean, it could have been just so. But it did get a shout out from LeBron James, so that's cool.
Yeah, sick tan.
I also just like this break a lot because it embodies every joke about Trump. No slam on Trump is complete without a jab at his weird, off-putting spray tan.
Yeah, sick tan. That's why he wants us to disband, cause he cannot withstand the fact we're not afraid of Trump walking on eggshells. I came to stomp. That's why he keeps screaming, drain the swamp, cause he's in quicksand.
Donald Trump very much ran on a platform that he was going to drain the swamp. That meant that because he wasn't a politician or someone from Washington, he was going to clear out all of the bullshit.
Administration, we're fighting against the lobbyists, the special interests, and the corrupt Washington politics. We are going to Washington, D.C., and we are going to drain the swamp.
Well, since he's got in office, and what has happened is that he's filled every seat imaginable with yes men and people that will do whatever he says. And if they don't do whatever he says, he fires them.
Pushing ahead with legal challenges, golfing over the weekend as the race was projected, and today he fired his defense secretary, Mark Esper, in a tweet.
Esper hated the idea he was seen as a yes man, telling the Military Times in an interview published just after he was fired, "Who's pushed back more than anybody? Name another cabinet secretary that's pushed back. Have you seen me on stage saying, under the exceptional leadership of blah, 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 we have blah, 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 blah."
And if you get caught doing whatever he says and found guilty by the FBI, quite recently he has just pardoned them.
Like we take a step forwards then backwards, but this is his form of distraction. Plus, he gets an enormous reaction when he attacks the NFL, so we focus on that instead of talking Puerto Rico with gun reform for Nevada, all these horrible tragedies, and he's bored and would rather cause a Twitter storm with the Packers.
Back in 2016, Colin Kaepernick, when he was the quarterback for the 49ers, he was the first one to take a knee during the national anthem. And Donald did not like that. As more and more NFL teams started to take a knee during the national anthem, Donald Trump used it as a talking point to gain more supporters. And in 2017, during a rally, he said this.
You love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a bitch off the field right now, out, he's fired. He's fired!
And ever since then, Trump has been very vocal about the protests on Twitter. Like he is about everything on Twitter. But that's what makes this exhausting, because back in 2017, when the NFL season was going on and he was making these remarks, the deadliest mass shooting in US history took place in Las Vegas, and the worst hurricane in the Dominica, Hurricane Maria, hit Puerto Rico. With his Twitter feed and his Twitter storm with the Packers, he was able to distract everyone from actually taking a hard look at gun reform, taking a hard look at relief for Puerto Rico, all because he's upset Colin Kaepernick took a knee.
Then says he wants to lower our taxes. Then who's gonna pay for his extravagant trips back and forth with his fam to his golf resorts and his mansions? Same shit that he tormented Hillary for and he slandered, then does it more.
Okay, so USA Today has reported that from 2017 to 2018, Trump golfed 69 times.
69? Nice. Nice.
As of early 2020, Trump would visit the same golf course in Mar-a-Lago 266 times, and that is just a shit ton of golf to play.
And I won't be playing golf instead of going to see the people in Louisiana who have been devastated by floods.
But that was then. This is now.
Look at that.
As president, Donald Trump's visited 2 Florida golf courses he owns near Mar-a-Lago, nearly every weekend since taking office.
And then there's the line about Clinton.
Same shit that he tormented Hillary for and he slandered, then does it more.
Which I think is one of the most frustrating and exhausting points of this whole thing. Not only did Trump run on a lock her up platform, everything that he has fabricated about Clinton, he has actually done blatantly and in the face of everyone.
Now if you're a black athlete, you're a spoiled little brat for trying to use your platform or your stature to try to give those a voice who don't have one. He says you're spitting in the face of vets who fought for us, you bastards. Unless you're a POW who's tortured and battered, cause to him you're zeros cause he don't like his war heroes captured.
I'm just gonna let this clip play.
And I said, somebody should run against John McCain, who has been, in my opinion, not so hot. And I supported him. I supported him for president. I raised $1 million for him. It's a lot of money. I supported him. He lost. He let us down. But, he lost. So I never liked him as much after that, because I don't like losers. But Frank, let me get to it. He hit me. He's not a war hero. He's a war hero. 5.5 years. He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you.
That's not disrespecting the military. And any fan of mine who's a supporter of his, I'm drawing in the sand a line. You're either for or against. And if you can't decide who you like more and you're split on who you should stand beside, I'll do it for you with this.
Now this last line is the cap of what makes this whole thing exhausting. For the last 4 years, every little thing in America has been a political line in the sand. Even now in 2020, people can't even decide to wear a mask without first leaning on their political instincts. Even with ideas science has proven to save lives, people are unwilling to cross that line in the sand.